summer of 2003, we interviewed the shortlisted design teams for this particular site.
The Panopticon idea was announced through the RIBA, and we were entering international competitions at the time, and proposals for very large buildings and quite sculptural buildings, and we became aware of the project for the Panopticon.
Well, when we set out the terms of the competition, we said that we wanted to promote these fantastic panoramic views, and what you have here is a spectacular view of some of the most beautiful of East Lancashire's landscapes.
The process of design is firstly talking, doing some research, and then getting the first ideas on a paper, sketching and envisaging the space, and we tried a different position of the openings to find the right position for the views and to get the right amount of the light inside, and then we built a real model which was quite big.
Then you start using your knowledge, I suppose, about structure and form. How do you actually make it?
The structure is glass reinforced concrete, which is a recognised way of doing, used on tunnel linings and that sort of civil engineering. The actual sort of uniqueness is the shape of it and the skills that were involved. One might call it suck it and see skills, that nobody really knew how to support the steel frame in the shape prior to getting some strength from the concrete, and that was done by supporting with bits of wire and wood, and the finish was applied to the concrete by the company called Metal FX.
Well, this is solid bronze that we're putting onto this structure here. It's a metal, it's pure metal that's held in a resin binder. It's rather similar to cold casting, but it's done in reverse, whereby in cold casting you put it into a mould, you let it set, take it out. That's incredibly wasteful because it uses a huge amount of metal, whereas this, it doesn't. We can actually be very precise with the amount of metal that we apply to this surface in particular. The metal is oxidised. So what we have to do, we have to remove that oxidisation, and we do that literally with either wire wools or wire brushes to expose the raw metal underneath. You can see by sort of a gentle rubbing, you remove the oxidised layer off the surface, exposing the pure shiny metal. But this isn't the result that's required. What they want after that is for us to put up a patina on there, and this is just a water acid wash that we put on, which naturally patinas, it ages the metal.
This is 96% pure bronze, this surface here. So that immediately says that it will behave like bronze.
Project. We were careful, and as a group of judges, we wanted to choose things that weren't just structures that just stood there as a piece of art and didn't mean anything. This is something that's usable. If you're out walking and it's peeing it down, you can get inside this. If you're cycling, you can get inside it. But also it's just interactive, and I really love that idea that you get a piece of art that can be interactive. You can imagine kids having a fantastic time jumping through the holes, even rolling out them and down the hill. There's so much you can do with that. Apart from, you can look at it as a play structure, you can look at it as a refuge, you can look at it as a piece of art, and I think that multi-use thing is pretty important.
With East Lancashire being an amalgam of 6 local authority areas, all very different, then clearly we needed people who would be the glue in that process. Mid-Pennine Arts have been particularly amazing in developing the concept with us, and embracing the architects, designers, and everyone concerned in the concept work right through to fruition. It's very visionary, it's very exciting, it's wonderful, and days like today are really, dream at the end of the process, and we're so excited by it.
Well, we've got very few iconic works of public art actually in the Northwest region, and our aspiration is that Panopticons will play a significant role in raising the sort of image and perceptions of East Lancashire as a place. We often forget that there's a beautiful countryside around here, and Panopticons will help raise that particular image, I think, of this part of the region.
Somebody said to me today, this is going to be on postcards, and it is. When people get a postcard from people who've been visiting this area, they're going to see Atom, and that's going to begin to make people have a picture of East Lancashire in their minds. I often ask journalists and people from the south of the country if they can tell me 3 positive things about East Lancashire. Now, if they're football fans, they can name a football team or 2. But I've been working for Elevate for almost 3 years now, and in that 3 years, no one has ever gotten to the 3rd positive thing that they know about East Lancashire. Now, this is going to be one of those. This is going to be the 3rd one. They're going to know about this.
I think it's like any large public piece of art. It's different. It's not what you would expect on a Lancashire hillside. The Angel of the North is not what you'd expect next to a main road in Gateshead, but it's very famous, and I'm hoping that this Panopticon and all the others throughout East Lancashire will put this area on the map, and obviously it will help the economy of East Lancashire.
This is my part of the world. I was born here. I've lived here all my life. Really enjoyed working on projects like this that help us to celebrate and tell the rest of the world that actually East Lancashire is a great place to be, and structures like this just really bring that message home for me. We can compete with the rest. Come and have a look at it. It's well worth it.
I think it's part of a package that will make people understand that Pennine Lancashire really can be a good place to live in, a good place to do business in. The Atom is just one part of that jigsaw to help improve those perceptions.
We're completely happy with it. The finish is great. The organisation behind it, everyone's, it takes teams to do these things, and a lot of will. And there have been a few creaky points, and they came behind us, and it's been a fantastic project, and we're really pleased with it.
This is the first time today that I've seen this object complete. First time I've seen it with its coating of bronze, and the first time with this beautiful stainless steel ball fixed properly in place. I came over the hill and I was absolutely thrilled. It looks just as it was envisaged in the early design drawings. Through all the modifications and the challenges of design and budget and so on, we've come to the end of that process, and we have created what was first envisaged, and that is a real thrill.